Welcome to American Dialectic with Jake and Joe. And today, it's been brought to my attention that you're pretty angry today, Joe.
Oh, I'm irritated.
Irritated.
I try not to get angry anymore. It's for young men.
Okay. Yeah, you're really getting up there.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So, as you could probably tell from the title, Jussie Smollett. He's an actor on Empire, which is a show. I don't remember which network it's on. Do you? Empire? No. I've seen one or two episodes. It's a pretty good show. But and I believe he's one of the leading roles. So he's got some notoriety. A B-list actor, which is much more than I'll ever be. So anyway, he was in Chicago, reportedly at a subway, and walking back to his home from the subway, he was accosted. And this is the story anyway.
Who was he accosted
reportedly, it was two white males who were wearing MAGA hats and screamed, "This is MAGA country," threw bleach on him, punched him, and put a noose around his neck. And that is the story when it broke, as it came out.
Okay, that sounds like a real douchebag thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine MAGA.
Well, I was outraged. I was outraged when I first heard this story because I don't like extremists on any side. And to see people
That's not my right wing.
Right, and to see people getting extreme, to get it violent over politics like this, it irks me. And I was very angry. I wanted to find these two gentlemen and serve justice. You know what I mean?
No one likes racism.
Yeah, make sure they're sent to jail. Oh, yeah. Oh, apparently they called them the N-word and a derogatory slur for a gay person.
Like hard R?
Yeah, hard R, reportedly. So that's how the story was presented the first day it came out.
Presented? Wait,
presented, yep.
You mean it changed?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, what? Okay,
so
how did it change?
let's start with details, right?
Okay.
Details of the story. The part that this happened in Chicago is an industrial area at 2 a.m, and it was with wind chill, -3 outside. Very, very cold. Highly unlikely there's anybody out there, like just for no reason, standing around outside. It's very, very cold.
So were they just out for blood?
Well, let's check these details. So that's the first detail. The second detail is when the cops canvassed the area, and obviously Mr. Smollett called the police, they didn't find any bleach bottle or anything like that. Well, 5 days later, some news company showed up with a detergent bottle that had traces of bleach in it. So the FBI, oh, by the way, that's the thing. The FBI is involved now. The FBI and the police canvassed the area and found nothing, but some journo found a bottle. Okay, so that's another weird little quirk.
Okay.
Still not anything to make me say, what are you talking about? This industrial area is almost entirely covered with cameras. Almost entirely. Because it's an industrial. There's machines and stuff. You don't want people breaking into your building. Expensive stuff, yeah. So the cameras are protected.
Probably.
In the 60 seconds that Mr. Smollett was not on any of these cameras is when the attack happened. And here's the thing.
That's
and that's convenient enough. But remember, there are cameras showing all the entrances and exits to this blind spot. Nobody in or out. Nobody came in or out from where this blind spot is. There was 2 people that were showed on the camera, and they were walking away before the alleged attack.
Okay.
So, and we'll get to that. There's more details on that.
Well, were they wearing MAGA hats or anything?
No hats, no ski masks. Now, here's a couple other detail-oriented problems with this story. First, originally, he said that they were wearing ski masks, and then went back and said they were wearing MAGA hats. So that changed in his story, and that's a big detail there.
Okay, he was under attack. He might have...
Sure, absolutely.
He might have just thought he saw something.
Absolutely. The other detail is this noose that they found apparently was a clothesline, and Mr. Smollett...
Like putting out...
Yeah, a line for a clothes, yeah.
Okay.
And apparently Mr. Smollett waited 45 minutes between the attack and calling the police. He wasn't going to call originally, is what he says, and his manager or friend or whoever it was talked him into it. And he still had the clothesline, the noose around his neck when the police got there. So I imagine this is probably an hour after the attack, 45 minutes to an hour, and he still got the noose around his neck.
Okay.
So that's a weird, why wouldn't you take it off? Well, unless it was for theatrical effect. You know what I mean? He is an actor. So that's one thing. Now, let's talk about the 2 gentlemen that were walking away that were caught on the camera.
Okay.
They're extras from Empire.
Okay, maybe he said something on set to piss him off.
Maybe. But the cops, I'm just saying, the guys that were walking away, that didn't have anything to do with the attack, were extras on the show Empire. And they happened to be there at the time of this attack. Now, if we'll put up a picture of these two guys, neither one of them are a guy that you're going to jump in an alley. I'll tell you that much right now. They got biceps the size of my freaking head. Huge man.
Snap.
I believe they're from Africa. And they've had, possibly. And they've had several recurring roles as extras on Empire. They've made some good money from it. And reportedly, one of them is extra friendly with Jussie Smollett, and they both support LGBTQ plus agendas.
Okay.
So they're both, just to say that they're
Good
both.
for them.
What I mean is, neither one of them are MAGA guys. You know, so. And they're the two walking away, right? So now here's the thing, is we got all this evidence, and you look at it, and there's a lot of holes and inconsistencies in this story. Well, the police requested...
But that only just says it's strange, not impossible.
Here's another interesting thing on it. The police requested Mr. Smollett's phone. And he denied it. He said, absolutely not, you can't have my phone. And I can understand to an extent... Many people work with their phones, and to not have it for a few hours,
even a few minutes,
it could be a nightmare. So I understand that. So the police requested phone records for him, which at first he refused, and then later came back and said, "Okay, I'll do it." He gave them a highly redacted form of his things. Well, the police are police, and they have the FBI involved. They went and got phone records, and all they did was just go and compare to the ones he redacted and see who they belonged to. He said he was on the phone with his manager while the attack happened. Phone records indicate he was on the phone with those two gentlemen that were walking out of camera that probably placed a clothesline and a bottle with bleach in it at the spot, in the only spot where the cameras don't go.
We might not know that.
Why else would they be walking away from there? What is the point of... You think it's coincidence that they're all hanging out in an industrial area, not together?
It might be coincidence, but coincidence isn't... enough to get conviction. It just can only point to something.
Well, if you look at all of these things together, that's a lot of coincidences.
Oh yeah,
a lot of coincidences. And the biggest update today is that Mr. Smollett is no longer considered a victim in the case.
Whoa! He's no longer a victim.
Yeah, he's no longer considered a victim. They are still, the FBI and the police are still looking into it. Mr. Smollett hired a high-power lawyer. And they're going out to... So let me say, this to me looks like somebody trying to make a B-list actor trying to make it to an A-list actor. He can stage an attack, get some support behind him, rally the community, get the trolls attacking, and people have his name on his lips. His name on their lips. And that's how that's how he was trying to gain notoriety. That's what this looks like to me.
Oh, man.
And if that's what happened, I hope they nail him to the wall.
I heard that the police were thinking about prosecuting him.
If they came out and said, if Mr. Smollett is found to have filed a false report, then we will be prosecuting him to the full extent of the law. You have to remember, too, you have the FBI involved. So it's not... You're likely not going to get hit with local law. You're going to get hit with federal law, with federal penalties.
They're not messing around.
They have different sets of wasting a police officer's time is bad enough.
Yeah, it is.
Imagine what it's like, what the penalties are for wasting a federal officer's time, or a branch of the FBI that's been working on this, because there's been a lot of people involved.
They're not going to be happy.
It's not going to look good for him. So I'm very irritated about this case. No matter what's true, whether it's true and there's two horrible individuals out there that are being, calling people racist names, stalking, black TV stars because they're gay or whatever, and doing this kind of stuff, that would make me angry. Or the way I think it happened, if you've got somebody like this who's trying to make a name off of the back of racism and the hate in this country, or that used to exist, in this country, is disgusting.
I heard that a lot of people are saying it was a hate crime in regards to LGBT and because he's black. Yeah.
Well, like I said, supposedly the assailants called him the N-word and the F-word, the derogatory term for gay people. Yeah, which I don't repeat those. A British cigarette. They called him a British cigarette. So.
Oh God.
Anyway, that's all I got on this story. It's to me, it's irritating, and I think we could do an update next week and try to see where it goes. But yeah, it's disgusting. Either way, it's disgusting.
These fake hate crimes, assuming it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they said he's no longer a victim, and he's hired a lawyer to protect himself. It looks really, really
Looks
bad.
pretty bad, yeah.
But then again, as I said, they may all just be coincidences.
It could be, and I think that's where a lot of people are leaning right now, is that we don't know, but it looks pretty bad. And you never know. I will take, in this scenario, because it's Chicago PD, I'll take their word on it, and as well as the FBI. FBI is pretty left-leaning, and Chicago itself is a left-leaning city, so it stands to reason that their police officers and mayoral candidates and whatnot would be fairly left-leaning as well.
Relative to, like, Omaha.
Yeah, relative to Omaha or Texas, So I'll take their word on it on this one, because I think that they would be looking for a reason to do something like that, to push that kind of agenda, that, what's the word I'm looking for, narrative, to push a narrative like that out there.
Well, you don't want people going ahead and thinking that they let this kind of thing go.
Right, exactly.
And I think it would at minimum send a very clear message to all those staging hate crimes. Don't do it. You never know if you're going to piss off the wrong person who's just going to go ahead and just come at you with full force.
And you know what? If that's what happened here, if he staged this, I hope they make an example out of him.
Yeah, I'm tired of this kind of crap myself. But holy crap.
Well, yeah, that's the end of that story, so thanks for coming. See you next time.
Till next week.
Jake and Joe.